Hey everyone, we're here with Stoppable up against HB Engineer in the Future. So this is a classic corp identity at the very least, and one that is somewhat safe to face check against, unlike a lot of the Jintekis we've been playing of late. Our opening hand is pretty great, Aaron for the early push. This deck may have to give up the early agenda. We got some money, Magnum Opus and Siphon of course. Also Rip Deal could be interesting, I'm hoping to get some usage out of it. Struggling so far with that, but we shall see. We'll keep living the dream, hoping for the best. This deck, if you have not seen it, is trying to put on some pressure and then get some D-reses with Rubicon Switch. And we do have a lot of run events like Rip Deal, Spearfishing, which is the opposite of Inside Job, where you bypass the innermost piece of ice. We have Inside Job itself. And one, we have Leave No Trace as well, which is, this is not what I was expecting, which lets you to make a run, and then you de-res every piece of ice that was resed during the course of that run. So, let's see, did they keep mulligan? They mulliganed. So there might be something of interest here. Let's go for a check, just see. It's a Mooooons deck. We don't play Film Critic, so that's fine, is it? It's probably better things to attack. Like that. Okay, so we're going to have to move fast, and Magnum Opus may be a little too slow for that. The fun thing is, though, we can Siphon, Rip Deal a Siphon. So that could be a bit of a larf. But of course, Lashmi, they do have bits and pieces to get around ye old Siphon. Jackson will not help them, but it might find them piece of ice, or all the other combo bits and pieces. So maybe Siphon, run Jackson, and then attack something else. We want to make it as low value as possible. Oh, they got a res, or they got an install. So we could be looking at Architect, we could be looking at Fairchild 3 is the worst thing to run into. But maybe we'll run HQ, try and force a res, run Jackson, draw up a little. So run HQ, see what we're dealing with. If it's Architect, that sucks, but at least we'll have run early. So if they do reinstall the tech startup, that's fine. So we won't be able to get Jackson this turn, but we know we're dealing with Fairchild, so Brute Force Hack will definitely be going at that, and we got a Vitruvius as well. So next turn, if they money up, we can just Siphon, clear tags, which seems pretty good. We do run Maker's Eye as well, so that's going to be something that we have to do. And here comes Moon. And we're going to have to zoom out. So I finally zoom in, and we're being forced into zooming out as much as possible. Okay, so first thing, let's run Jackson, just so they can't recur too much. Second, let's run Moon. Third, let's pick one of these. Fourth, run R&D. But at some point we're just going to have to give up, I think. Clone Surface Movement. Well, we do want to get rid of that. Let's draw. Daily Business Show. That's not as bad. Expect Friends in High Places to come back at any moment, though. So, if we're not using Magnum Opus for money, because it's slow, and I don't think it's going to be that helpful in this matchup, it puts us behind, I think. Like, we could credit install, use it, but already we're giving up quite a bit of momentum. Instead, we might have to find our Temujins and just other good pieces like Sure Gambles. We do have Siphon ready to go, so if they do get too high in money, we can try and punish them. turtlebacks, and friends. So Moon comes back, and presumably tech startup, or Jackson, or so many other good things. Clone surface movement, well, we've got to take that out. So drop Temujin, that is good. But still, I prefer to take out clone surface movement here. Let's credit, let's run R&D. Just try and keep them honest. Or at least know one of the two cards that they might get. Architect's inconvenient. So we want to make sure that they don't endlessly recur friends. So you'd have to assume Architect over Estelle. And they start the Lash Me now as well. So time to find some stuff in R&D instead. Let's see. Siphon, not great. Magnum Opus, I don't want to use it. I think we credit, run R&D. It's just the one pokes, but maybe it'll pay off. Daily Business Show, they can have that. If we run server 10, this, we might not be able to steal, but let's see. At least then we might be able to get Temujin down. Possibly know that they have something in HQ. Which if they go for score here will be a 1 in 4. No, they can have that. As terrible as that is. Alright, time to draw up and find something decent. So there was a Daily Business Show on top. Jackson is here. Going to have to put this on R&D. Thankfully, Estelle hasn't kicked off too much yet. This, however, far more problematic. Okay, well, they can res Architect. They can res something that ends the run, so I think Temujin has to go on Archives instead. Yeah. Server 11 isn't a advanced assembly lines, so we're going to get to take a couple of pokes here. And now we need to try and find a Mammon. Or wait for them to get just enough credits that we can siphon them. So Mammon with 2 tokens should be enough. We can just click through Fairchilds. But we don't want Architects to fire. And we can get through any of the barriers that they play as well. Jeeves is not great. But now they're up at 6 credits. So, do we just go for it? 6 credits. They could res all sorts of bits and pieces. And Moon allows them to bounce right back. And if we check, well, what are the chances that they have the same agenda in HQ as they have installed? I think we have to take a poke somewhere. Let's go with the middle one. Another Estelle Moon. Fine. Run server. Oh, there's another server I can't see. Ah, so they're looking for the agenda then? Yep, we will take that. And can't siphon this turn, unfortunately. But we can run archives and we can run Jeeves. Jeeves is an important one to take out. And I've learned that the hard way, unfortunately. But of course this deck plays so much recursion that it is very difficult to keep it down for too long. Next turn we can siphon, but it'll take us our entire turn. Tech startup is going to go find not Estelle, but possibly another Jeeves. Or Clone Suffrage. Blacklist in the bin. Maybe we don't think we play Blue Moose, but we do. Yes, so Jeeves is in server 8 now. So their hand is massively full. May have to trash this. Stealing this is massively important because otherwise they just get to install a load of pieces and probably score out over time. Here I think we try and hit the Lakshmi. Hit archives. We need to get into HQ somehow. And unfortunately that's where we need to draw. Find ourselves a brute force hack. And some other bits and pieces as well. Ugh. A lot of work to be done. Siphon gets us quite a bit of money, but takes our entire turn. And again, that's not momentum that we can pass up. Abigail is going to be expensive to get through. But possibly our best option. So if they biotic, flip this, yeah. Biotic, install, advance, use it, pop this, get loads of cards, install them all. Not what we were expecting. Now, unfortunately, our multi-axis is Maker's Eye, which is dependent on breaking this, or Gauntlet, which is dependent on breaking this, which is going to be a pain. And Friends comes back. Super. Now, they're not super rich. But, well, this will allow them to just bounce it back up from Siphon. And, okay, so Install Moon and Tech Startup. So I think we're going to have to use Iron to actually just draw bits and pieces. Gauntlet. That works, right? Because you're using clicks to break subroutines. I think that works. Blue Moose is here. So, let's see. Blue Moose could also be a little on the slow side. So they didn't show us anything, which means HQ could be ripe. Server 16 could be okay. I don't think we're going to be using Rip Deal. Maybe Inside Job. Could Inside Job HQ. 1 in 4 perhaps. They've been drawing a lot, not scoring anything. Nothing in archives. Yeah, let's go for it. Just biotic labor. Tech Startup is at 18, but what would they look for? I honestly don't know. Possibly another Lakshmi, so maybe better off taking it out. Now we missed one. Well, we get to find out what they're looking for, so. They got a Jackson. They already have one on the table. One on the table, one in the bin. So the gauntlet will make us absolutely broke. Here we go. So assumingly, or presumably, Estelle will get popped. No, just Vitruvius. Interesting. Okay. Siphon, triple click clear. Gets us money at least. Gets us 10 credits over 3 clicks. We can clear the... Yeah, I think we have to. Like, they can bounce back very easily. But it is the quickest bit of economy that we have. Another time engine, another siphon. Could force an architect res, get them to spend loads of money. We need to find our Abigail. That's what's causing us problems here. Because even if we throw down Gauntlet, we can't run next turn. So I think it's time to start power drawing. If we can find Mammon, that helps. It's expensive for most things. Okay. So this is going to be the power turn then. Biotic. Get a successful field test. Install everything. Well, at least we'll have 4 draws then. Get ourselves a Gauntlet, Abigail, all sorts of bits and pieces. No, they're just going to install 3 things maybe. And something on HQ. So we're going to need a breaker. Maker's Eye side. Not quite what we wanted. Could make... No, Maker's Eye. If we had an Architect, they'll use Jackson to shuffle, you'd imagine. Sometimes you just have to fire it and hope, though. Again, multi-axis wins this game. Haven't found a Mammon, haven't found anything to get us into HQ. Likely Architect, possibly Architect, probably an Architect. How many Architects could they have out? All of them is the answer. Yeah, let's see. Architect, sure. So we're going to see the top 5, which they can shuffle if needs be. And they can install 1 from Archives and 1 from HQ, or 1 from HQ. So this is going to be a free 3-card look. Probably get rid of a Jackson. We may have to take a random guess over here again. So position 2 from R&D. Maybe we'll get lucky and just hit one of the last agendas in R&D. So we're going to have to take a poke at that and just see what we're dealing with. Because anything they can install is kind of bad. So last 3 clicks is basically going to be just running 3 servers over here, I think. If we can get them to install enough things, they could deck themselves with Moon. And Lakshmi. So there is an agenda on the table then. Or they're just going to show us random agendas now. So Turtlebacks, Lakshmi, shows one of the 5 probably. Right, well, we're through. Now, are they going to show us anything? Adding an unseen card from Archives, an agenda, successful field test, fair enough, we're now robbing one of them. Turtlebacks, nope, they can have that. Successful field test, fair enough. And vanilla. Okay, good to know. And now, how would we get around this? I don't know if we do. So we can trash this. Sure. Well, we have to run it at the very least, I believe. Moons. Unfortunately, we didn't find any breaker, but as you can see, we just got overwhelmed and very difficult to set up. I think Magnum Opus is just too slow for this particular matchup, because we would have spent 5 installing it and then 3 clicks to get 1 net credit. And unfortunately then they just go absolutely nuts. We got tech startups. We unfortunately missed 1. The friends, always a pain. Got the clone suffrage at least. Rip deal and Magnum Opus. If we didn't install it at the start, we're definitely not installing it now. So successful field test is the second agenda down, and they have one in HQ as well. Possibly should have installed Gauntlet. Next turn we could run. 2 Fairchilds will stop us though, which you'd imagine could be on the cards, or an Eli over here as well. This is where you want your Aeneas Informants and your Turtle Breakers, all that kind of thing. So Moons goes. Presumably we're going to get the Biotic successful field test. And install all the bits and pieces. So now, where do we go from here? So we know there's one more successful field test. The question is, where is it going to end up? Now, if... No, it's for mandatory draw, isn't it? That they can deck themselves. I have no idea what I'm doing. Hey, Mammon has arrived. Welcome to the party. Alright, we're going to have to check. Server 23. Sure. Now, they only have 13 credits. I think we can zoom in again. This will get them to 16, though. Biotics again. So they snuck out the global food. And really, we probably should have run this one instead because it would have gotten us the 2 credits. But sure, what can you do? So that's Mooooons for you. Unfortunately, we didn't get to show off too much of this deck. It was a little too slow for this matchup, but many decks are. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. And if you have any decks to suggest, please let me know in the comment section below or on Twitter at Saber0001. I occasionally talk Netrunner and some other bits and pieces too.